Hey, this is Sasha. Welcome to another video here. And today what I want to do is share with you some behind the scenes of what I'm doing within my own business here on the Traders Fly website. So if we take a look at, newsletter campaigns and marketing, there's really a lot of different companies out there. And from time to time, you might see that one company is better fit than another, just depending on what you're doing. Now, my primary two that I like is Aweber and Mailerlite, which I'll link in the description here, or check out my resources page. One of the reasons I like both of these is because they have the best customer support that I found. Not only do they just answer the phones and those kinds of things very quickly and easily, but more importantly, if you have a business that's kind of on the edge of, let's say, marketing, maybe money making, one of my businesses is investing and stock trading, which is a little bit more taboo niche. So a lot of the newer mailing companies, they don't like that because they believe it has a high spam complaint. They also assume that, hey, there's a lot of get rich quick things out there. So they won't even look at your company to deal business with you. So things like ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, MailChimp, a lot of those companies, they totally just rejected me. Now, not the Backstage income division, but the stock trading division or website that I run. So of course I could always have moved things over there, but I always wanted to just kind of see where I could keep things kind of together. So anyways, that's with Aweber and Mailerlite. They actually look at your company, they look at your business, see how the list is performing and evaluate it based on that, rather than, hey, just because you're in one niche or another, then you'll be bad for our servers. So with that being said, definitely take a look at those in the description here or the resources page. I think they are outstanding. But as your business grows, you may want to choose one list over another. And what I've been looking for with myself is kind of looking at automations and automating things a little bit more. And that's one thing that Aweber's a little behind on because they are one of the oldest in the business. So for them to make changes, it's a little more difficult. So when we do this, what I want to do is show you here, and what we're going to take this campaign from Aweber, and I'm going to take this campaign and kind of break it down into moving it over to Mailerlite. Now, I'm not moving everything over to Mailerlite right away. I'm just moving this campaign, but while I do this, I think it's a good time to just kind of show you how the automations work in Mailerlite. So it's kind of like a little tutorial, and if you're interested, of course, use my affiliate link there at the bottom. Now, I have a lot of different fields here that I've created to tag people. And the automations work really nicely. I like a process of onboarding. So when we do onboarding, it kind of allows to see, hey, did someone click an email? Did they not click an email? And then it'll move them to an active list. Basically, the automation flow that I'm looking to create is kind of like this, right? So they sign up or something happens, they get an email, there's some waiting, and then there's something happens or it doesn't happen. And if it does happen, this happens. But if it doesn't happen, then you get this other flow that could happen. So anyways, it can get very complicated as you want. But what I found is if you break it into little segments, and then link those segments together, you can get a lot of dynamic versatility or make things very flexible within your business. So here in my campaign area that I use, and I have multiple monitors here, we kind of have a getting started. So as people sign up, you have a getting started emails. So we'll kind of do something like this, and then they go into, here's some coaching sessions, which get sent out like 6 days later. And then we wait like 3 weeks and 9 weeks and we do more coaching sessions, which I think is a little cumbersome because this is all linear. But now with Mailerlite, I could do some things that are more dynamic, as you saw. So that's what we're going to do. And we'll just probably create more of, we'll create kind of two workflows in a way. So let's just say, hey, this will be the second one. This will be kind of our coaching promo workflow. And we'll do when the trigger updated field. Sometimes you can do it when they join a group, when a subscriber clicks a link, that kind of stuff. For us, it'll be when an updated field, let's say coaching, is provided, because I either just do yes or it's empty. So if it's provided, then it's good to go. So if it's provided, what I want to do is just usually add a delay, because remember, they might be in that other sequence. So I kind of like to give kind of a little bit of a delay. Maybe, you know, it could be 10 days, 15 days, but it kind of gives a little bit of a delay to getting started into kind of a coaching sequence. So let's just say we add kind of a 10-day delay on there. It could be 7-day delay. And then what we do is, you know, we send an email right here. We could say, hey, this is a coaching intro email. Then after that, we could go ahead and split this into kind of a condition, right? So now here, to define a condition, it could be campaign activity, but because we didn't define the email, you have to create kind of the email. So I'll just go ahead and use kind of a basic template email. We'll just select this. I wish you could just check mark it and it pops in. But in this case, we'll just have to kind of wait. I'll just say done editing, because I just want to pop emails in there and create the workflow first. Once my workflow is created, I'll go back and edit the emails, because I want to think about it and maybe rearrange that workflow. You could do this on paper first and then put it back in, but then I find that doing it on paper, you know, it adds an extra step. So it just depends how intricate you want to do it and how many steps. So now what I could say is, hey, if campaign activity, let's just say here we got to save it. Okay, so now campaign activity, workflow activity, this coaching intro is, let's say, had any link clicked. I could say specific link, and it could be whatever, this one. I might change it later, right? Because we're going to change the email. If it had that link clicked, or for now, you could just say, hey, had any link clicked, then we'll go ahead to the next step. So the next step, we'll go ahead and create kind of an email. Again, this will be like discount, maybe promo, some new thing. You have to kind of already have this in your mind, right? And then if they go ahead and do that, then I'll go ahead and create kind of an action, and then copy to a group or move to a group. You could copy them to a group, move them to a group. You could kind of tag them. I would say, hey, let's copy them to a group. I have a couple of different groups here. I could create a new group and say, hey, these are my coaching people, right? So now I have a coaching group that'll be created. So we'll go ahead, discount and promotion. We'll copy them to a group. And then if not, then we'll go ahead and, you know, add some more emails. And send that, and let's just say another email here and there. And again, I could add a delay above that. Let's just say this will be kind of 72. I usually like to use hours instead of just 2 days, because sometimes it just hours are more defined. Also here, remember that you have to, the conditions are checked immediately, so we'll add a delay above that. And I could do this like, let's just say 7 days or so. So again, it's kind of send one email, wait 7 days, check if anything's clicked, then send the next one right away. So that's kind of a basic, let's say, coaching activity. Now we're not fully done because we haven't clicked these emails, but I'm gonna go back to this and probably rearrange it later on. But that's a basic setup. Then what I need to do, so that's kind of our coaching promo. Because remember, you're kind of working on this seamlessly. So we create a new workflow here, and this will be our onboarding. And this is where I'm moving some of these things, at least at the beginning, for anybody that gets the gets on our newsletter list. I want to check if they click anything, they open anything, because if they don't click anything, then we'll just kind of slowly kill them off, and they're not active on the list. So we'll just remove them from the list. So here, let's look at when a subscriber joins a group, and our group is onboarding, because everybody gets on the onboarding one. We can reactivate them if they go ahead in there. So I'll just put in a quick delay. I usually like kind of a, let's just say 7-minute delay, just kind of 5 minutes, 7 minutes, just to give them a little cushion. We'll send an email there, and this email is going to be kind of this getting started, quick start right here. Again, I'll just quickly pop in one of the template emails here. We'll select this and just use that. This is the only part that's a little slow with Mailerlite. And then we'll go ahead and once we use this, we'll be able to kind of define again the links and so on. So here we have kind of those that email there going out. So that's kind of the first one. Now what I normally did was, hey, did a couple day delay. So I'll add a little delay. Let's say you could say 96 hours. You could say 72 hours. I'll just do kind of 72 hours. Even 70 hours, because basically, you know, this is going to wait 7 minutes and then they're going to get it at the same time as the previous email, which is kind of their opening time, right? So if I do a few hours before that, that's kind of nice. Wait 70 hours, then send the next email. The next email here will be, get ready, here's your training lessons. Again, this email is going to be a little different because they're all different in the content. Maybe one is just an introduction. The next one is, hey, here's some cool lessons. But again, for me, I'm just quickly drawing out the blueprint and then we'll finish up the emails. I'll go ahead and select this template again. And this could be tweaked fairly easily later on. So we'll go ahead and pop this in. So now as we wait for this, we can now get to the next step. Okay, so there we go. Then normally what I do is I check, hey, did you guys see it? I confirm and follow up. Normally this would be sent out on a Thursday. With Mailerlite, you can't precisely do that. From what I found is you can't send this email exactly on, let's just say, a Thursday. From what I've seen, maybe they'll have it by the time you watch this video, but right now you can't really do that. So it's kind of a little bit more on delays and less so much on send it at a specific time, which is one of the bigger advantages to Aweber at the moment, because you could really define a time. But here, let me see here. You might be able to, let's see, add a delay, wait, specific time of day. There you go. Time of day is something you can do. So you can wait until that day. So yeah, you can actually do it. So I can wait until time of day, wait a specific day of the week. So let's just say we wait until Thursday, and I could wait until Thursday even, let's say right here, Thursday evening. So until the day of the week, and I add a delay before that. So let's say, hey, they got that one. And then, you know, depending on it, let's say they got the email on Wednesday, but now the next day you want to give a little cushion. So again, you want to kind of be a little bit more cautious here with the time waiting because they're going to get that email. So you have to kind of time it in your head. Hey, what if somebody gets this on a Monday? What if they get it on Tuesday? What if they get it on Wednesday? How do I set that up? So I kind of wait like an extra 2 days. So 1 to 2 days, let's say. Instead of days though, let's go like 24 hours or 15 hours, because I don't want them to get too many emails from me. So let's say 24 hours, then wait until Thursday. So if they kind of got this on, you know, Thursday morning right here, well, there's a delay of 24 hours and then they get it the next Thursday. So that's what we kind of do. Then we'll get the next email. That email will be on, hey, did you see the lesson? So if you didn't see the lesson, then we'll go ahead and send that kind of email out. And right now you can see I'm not doing any advanced logic. It's kind of like a stream. So, and that's, I think, fine for kind of an onboarding thing. You could do a lot of if else, but usually just 1 or 2 is fine on an onboarding. You don't need to make it too crazy, because then we'll split it, right? And you know, you can add some little fields here, because for example, let's see if we can do it here, because here's a getting started. Let's see if I could add a condition. Choose where to move the steps. Okay, so here we could add the steps here, but here's the condition. So if they click any link, it'd go here. If they didn't click this link, it'd go there. So I could add a condition of, let's say they workflow activity in this email had a link clicked on, let's say it was a coaching. Okay, I'm just going to mark it here. But if we had like a coaching link clicked, then it would go through these emails for all the coaching kind of stuff. You know, so that's kind of what you could do. I wonder if I can undo this actually. Let me see if I can go back. I don't think you can undo it. Because then if you click the coaching thing, so yeah, unfortunately I actually messed that up. So let's see if we can just delete that. There we go. So now here, wait 70 hours. Let's see if we can add again a condition. Let me think about this for a minute, because if you go ahead, stream it, because if you had another condition, maybe you can add a condition here. Workflow activity. See, I could do it here. So this one, if the getting started had a specific link clicked, so we could do it just kind of at the end. You know, you could just kind of do it at the end. If it had a specific link clicked, then again, I'll just do it a delay, let's say kind of 5 days. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of tag them, update custom field, and our custom field will be coaching. Yes, because they're interested in coaching right there. Now, what we want to do is kind of check on this coaching thing. Let's go back to automations. How did this one work? So this one, updated coaching field is provided. So as long as coaching field is provided, and then this does all the groups at the end. So yeah, so we wait, and then we'll move them to a coaching group. So if it's provided, we could copy them to the coaching group, but we can also do that here. So wait 5 days, update field coaching, and you know, copy to a group just to double check. Boom, coaching. If they, you know, and we just pop that at the end. So basically they get all these. I could also add a little delay here. This could be a delay of, let's say, even 15 days. If they clicked it 15 days later, that's fine. So you can see this one's all linear. Here's some more great free training lessons as well here. So this could be another one that I could go ahead and send out. So did you see it? Boom. If not, they go ahead there. Then I'll go ahead and add another email here. Here's more great free training lessons. Save this. Go back. Pick an email. You know, this is probably the hardest part, is actually writing the emails. As you can see, the automation, you're just kind of constructing it, playing with it. Hey, do I want to work it this way, work it that way? And then what you do is you kind of evaluate, hey, what's working, what's not working, based on the numbers, because it'll tell you how many sends, how many people are opening it. Maybe you change the subject line, maybe you change the email, and that's really what you kind of do. I find that this happens periodically with Mailerlite, so it's a little bit slower of a system than Aweber. So if you like speed, Aweber is the way to go. If you like you know, a little more flexibility, dynamicness, newness, Mailerlite is good to go. So, you know, it's kind of like a truck and a car. They both have their advantages. A car gets better gas mileage. A truck can fit more lumber. What do you want out of life, right? So here, same kind of thing. There we go. Here's the email. There we go. Getting populated, and there we go. That's some coaching. And then as you can see, the open rate slowly starts to die down later with time. That's just normal. So that's why I want to be a little more specific, that if they click kind of a coaching link, we'll just tag them, update that, and then we go ahead and wait 10 days, and then boom, you know, I could even shorten this up. It's like, hey, if they're interested in coaching, let's just go ahead and wait 5 days. and then send them a bunch of emails. So that's kind of the way I look at it, is kind of your putting things together between these two automations. Now, it's going to take me quite a bit of time to go ahead and write these emails, but basically when you have everything kind of line up from this onboarding, and then, hey, if they click a link here on the coaching, it'll take them to the coaching. If they click a different link over here, you could take them to another automation. If they click another link over there, you could tag them there, and then it just slowly kind of creates its own little spider web of automations, living, breathing on its own. And that's kind of what you're really doing. So let me just take a look here at the onboarding one. This is just a basic one. Right here, you're waiting, and then you have kind of these emails. Wait until Thursday, and then on Thursday, I could even do it a little later just to be safe, just depending on when we release our emails normally, or videos. And then here, boom, wait until Thursday, send that email. Probably add another delay in between these two, because you don't want those emails going back to back. So again, wait kind of, we could do 3 days here, maybe 4 days, 3 days is fine, and send another kind of email, and that kind of closes out the onboarding. So by then, they should have clicked the link. If they didn't click any link here, then you basically have to, close them out as a dead list. And one of the ways to do that is, again, wait 15 days. Let's just say we do that beforehand. Where do we move the steps? Let's just say over here for now. I could always rework this part later. So let's say you can define a condition of, hey, workflow activity, and now you select these. Was it open or not open? Did you have any links, had any links clicked at all? So you could say, hey, if any of these links were clicked, then they're good. Let me just delete some of these. I'll redo these after. Because you can see this is what you kind of do overall with the flow diagram, right? So if any link was clicked, then what we're trying to do is really figure out, you kind of moving them from group to group, right? So you could move them from one group to another. And in this case, we'll move them from onboarding, and we'll move them to our active list. Okay. The other thing you want to be a little careful about is, remember, sometimes you're copying people to a list. So here, if we go ahead and move to a group, because now their onboarding is done. So here, and then I'll go ahead and do an action, update custom field, onboarding, done, and that's it. Now you could add another condition if this wasn't clicked. Well, what about the next one? Again, you can define a condition. Well, workflow activity, how about free great training? So then we'll do the second one, right? So you do the same thing, had any link clicked, which means they basically opened it, and you do the same thing. So you copy these things. So action, define action, update custom field. Again, no, the first one we did was move, but you could do update custom field, and this will be onboarding will be done, save, and this one will be move to a group. So you can see, you can't just copy it right there, but again, we're moving to our active list, people that are engaged. If not, well, then again, let's double check condition here, and this condition, workflow activity. So we did the first to second. Let's try the third email. Had any link clicked, and you can see this process. What I'm really trying to do, and just figure out if they clicked any links at all. I don't think there's a way to say, hey, had any link clicked on any of them. Workflow activity, campaign activity, maybe you don't have any campaigns, right? So custom fields, no. So I kind of have to do it this way right now from what I'm noticing. Had any link clicked in the whole workflow would be nice. So if not, then we go to this one. Yeah, had any link clicked, and then again you do the process, add the condition, we do update custom field, onboarding, done. So you have to kind of rig it a little bit. Action, move to a group from onboarding to active, and then we'll check the fourth one. So you can see if I had more emails, this would be more tedious. I wish I could just look up any link clicked on any emails, but it's a little more tricky, I think, for that. Okay, and here, if not, then I think this is the last one. Nope, there's one more. So we'll need to do one more condition. Workflow activity, getting started, had any linked clicked. If it did, then we'll go ahead and again update custom field, onboarding, done. This one will be, let's say, see, losing my train of thought now. We're gonna do action, move to a group on, and from onboarding to our active list. Boom. And if not, and if none of these, basically, because this doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, they didn't click on any of those really, then more than likely we update custom field to dead. Yes, or I could just say dead. You know, we have kind of a dead thing here. You could also have move to a group. We have kind of a dead list. There's also a probationary list that you could create. Let's try a couple more emails, but if they didn't open any of that, I mean, you could say, hey, let's move from onboarding to a dead list, and then you can see, hey, are they opening any more of your emails, where you might still send out some emails here and there onto the dead list or the dead group, but basically your onboarding is not tagged as done, and you're moving into a dead list. And I may update the custom field as well, the dead one to just dead, and that way just the yeses aren't confused. So dead is dead and onboarding is done and everything else is yeses. So you can see the logic behind here. So looks pretty complicated, but overall you can see had any link clicked here, no, then again had any link clicked there, so again, if not, then so on and so forth. So again, you want to be careful with these conditions. Add kind of a delay, but the thing is we already had a 15-day delay right here, so that's why I didn't bother adding the delay, because I did this all at the end. You know, the other thing what we could check is add more to see, hey, are there any you know, it's not as fluid here as active campaign as, hey, can we stem something from here and say, hey, did this one also, like for example, can you go ahead and draw something over here, and did this one have a link clicked that was coaching, and then if so, we stem another one right there. So you can't really do it in this way. So you can see this becomes a little more problematic in that way. But what you can do is add maybe like a tag where it's like, hey, if they did go ahead and you know, click a link here, and if they did click a specific link over there, you can also tag them as far as coaching true like I did earlier. So that's what I'll probably be working on here next, and defining that, and then going and writing the emails. But this is kind of the baseline to getting started with Mailerlite and just kind of the automation parts. It's not fully complete, but you kind of get the idea of what we're trying to do here. And basically we moved all of these, and you can see I defined, like if we look at this on Aweber and we go in right here, you can go ahead and really just pull up these emails, and then again you have to kind of write out all of these things, paste them in, link them up, and then you could define triggers for these things if you want. If your goal is just to see if they're active, then you could do that, because there's a lot of things you're throwing at them. Later on you could just go ahead and send them different emails to see where they bite, and then figure out if they want some coaching, courses, that kind of stuff. But for now, if you're just trying to figure out if they open anything, then this is just kind of a nice starting point. So anyways, that would be kind of the next step, is do the finish up the emails, then go back to kind of the coaching thing and do that as well, and build more automations out of this to funnel things out into creating things that work dynamically. Anyways, I hope this was helpful to Mailerlite. Again, if you like Mailerlite and you like what you're seeing here, or Aweber, I would recommend these two programs. They're kind of the best in terms of newsletters, I think, as far as customer service. They're not always the best in terms of price. They're not always the best in usability. There's always pros and cons of every different system that you try, but these are my two favorite tools personally. And if you want to check them out and get more insight or sign up with my affiliate link, that would help me out. So go ahead and click the links in the description or check out my resources page. Now, if you want to join me on my business newsletter and see more videos behind the scenes as I continue to release them, then be sure to get on my newsletter list by clicking the link right over here. And when you get there, enter your name and email address, and I'll send you those newsletters as they are released, specifically targeted towards you, just like these campaigns are that you saw here as we were creating them. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.